It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. And tonight our broadcast will be shifting to Minneapolis, where we'll see the Timberwolves going up against the Orlando Magic. Well, for Orlando, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And for Karl Anthony Towns, just last season, GMs voted him the player they'd most like to build a team around. Shaq, I can't think of higher praise than that.
That's because Big Cats is a perfect example of the modern-day center. Can do it all, Ernie, on both ends of the floor.
I really like his game, too.
I agree. He's a terrific scorer on 3 levels, and that's pretty impressive. He can do it on the box, the mid-range, and the 3-ball, Ernie.
Yes,
he has a lot of years left in him. He can make a big impact. I probably would want to start a team with him as well.
Kevin Harlan will have the call. Game's about to start. We'll see y'all later.
A good Friday night to you sports fans. You've come to the right place. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. It's the Orlando Magic taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The big story is the return of Aaron Gordon from being injured.
Yeah, everybody's glad to see him come back. It was surprising to me to see just how well they were able to kind of cope with his injury. A lot of guys stepped up in his absence, and they really hardly missed a beat.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, the work ethic of Wolves coach Tom Thibodeau is very well known. Now, back in Chicago, Jimmy Butler would try to beat him to practice. But no matter how early Butler arrived, Tibbs was already there. Finally, Butler said, okay, forget it. I can't beat him, so I'm just going to run through a wall for him. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Well, we got plenty of youth on both sides. Clark, what's it like to be part of an up-and-coming team in this league?
You know what, Kevin? I think it's a mixed bag. I think it's both very exciting and on occasion extremely frustrating because you don't know what you don't know, and the lack of experience sometimes is more prevalent with young teams than more experienced ones. So watching both of these teams develop over time is really going to be fun to see how their journey plays out.
These coaches will need a lot of patience, though, and the veterans on the team, too.
Exactly, both ways. You're right.
So the Timberwolves win the tip. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. On the court for Orlando, Ross is the 3 with Gordon at the 4. Fournier out there with Grant, and it's Mozgov in at the 5 spot. Hands it from downtown. Butler's got the opening field goal of the game for the Timberwolves.
And, it's a bonus to have big men who pass it like this. Gibson, solid instincts there.
Gordon finds Grant. With the floater, he lays it in.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
For the Orlando Magic, they come into this one following a loss to the Bulls in Chicago.
And you know what? A shame that either team had to lose that game because you had to be proud of the way they battled in it.
Yeah, I suppose that's right, but it still was heartbreaking to me. You hate to lose in OT. No matter how hard you played, you want to come out on top if you're going to play those extra minutes.
Here's Grant after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Fournier, and that one is off. Some solid defense from Butler. Teague left side. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Teague's got his first basket of the night.
Hey, Teague's not a big guy, but he's not really pint-sized. Nonetheless, impressive work for the little fella to get it done inside.
Knocked away. Mozgov kicks to Fournier. Grant the pass to Fournier. For 3, Ross off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Man, I like the three-point stroke of Ross. Gets it off so effortlessly. Man, he's got terrific form.
Teague against Grant. Teague finds Wiggins. And a miss there on the triple.
That's the first miss for this offense. They've hit 3 or 4 to start.
Here's Ross. And the shot falls short this time. For Minnesota, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Grant up top. Teague covering. Grant against Teague. Fournier gets a wide open look. And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
And the quick release of Fournier. Man, he's so good at getting his shot off as soon as the pass reaches his hand.
Teague kicks to Gibson. Here's Butler. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Yeah, the clever Frenchman, Fournier, solid at recognizing when the defense isn't covering one of his teammates.
Here's Teague after Jaren Grant's bucket. The pass to Towns. Shoots over Mozgov, and that one hits back iron.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
That shot wide open. 6 points for Jaren Grant. Timberwolves trail by 5. Will it go? And Towns throws it down.
Teague's ability to find the open man makes him one of the better passing point guards in the league.
Fournier passes to Ross. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Wiggins with some nice D.
Kevin, I like the defense there. I mean, they didn't make that easy, and he definitely seemed intimidated by the defenders.
Here are the Magic now. Grant outside. At the elbow, it's Gordon. Over Teague. And again, it's Orlando converting.
The inside is where Gordon is really most comfortable and effective. Very few defenders can get to a shot given how high he gets up on it. Andrew Wiggins, I think this guy has a chance to really be a star. He clearly is a centerpiece for the Timberwolves since they acquired him in the Kevin Love trade with the Cavaliers. He's got all of the physical tools to be an elite player at both ends. The only question mark has been the consistency of his motor. Does he really want to be great and put in the work to do so?
And with the Timberwolves bringing in Tom Thibodeau and these hard-nosed veterans, the culture shifting in Minnesota, Clark, is so evident.
Yeah, very much so, Kevin. And I think you've got tremendous role models for Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler in particular, trying to bring out the best in him. And that's not always easy, nor is it always comfortable. It's a tough balancing act, and sometimes veterans can wear you out with the lectures, but Jimmy's example is what I think is going to help Wiggins the most.
The free throw drop for Butler. Well, we're getting into the grinded out part of the season, Clark. Should we expect rookies now, you think, to start feeling the length of the NBA season right about now?
You know, that varies from individual to individual. I know when I was a rookie, it happened for me probably after about the 40th game or so, and I just was flat. I was still putting up decent numbers, but I just felt flat, felt lethargic. And then all of a sudden, after a week and a half or so, it just kind of went away, and I finished that rookie season strong. So every rookie's different. Some rookies never hit the wall, Kevin, but most do in some form or fashion.
And teams are all on top of this, aren't they? I mean, they know there's a chance it's going to happen, so they prepare accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's rare when a rookie doesn't hit it, but for some it might be an extended wall. For others, it might be a short wall.
Now here's Mozgov. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Teague finds Towns. Here's Wiggins. Back to Towns. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Ross with a wide open look. Good on the three-point shot. Ross has got 6.
Hey, I tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
Wiggins outside. And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That is his first foul of the game. Ross against Wiggins. Over Ross. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Wiggins has got his first points of the night. Fournier against Butler. With the floater, it's good.
It's been a very efficient first quarter for him. He's creating good opportunities and converting those that he creates.
T kicks to Gibson. To the inside. Over Gordon. Here's Towns. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. 8 points for him.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Gordon against Gibson. And Gibson sends it back.
A good defender who uses his body well, Gibson is capable of blocking shots.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. And Greg, what's not to like about Taj Gibson?
I mean, he's a hard worker defensively, finishes well inside, he's got the mid-range shooting touch. But what I like most, really, his unselfishness. He started, came off the bench, no complaints. This is a guy that just wants to win.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for Minnesota. Rose comes in for T. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Jarrell Martin's checked in for Mozgov. Isaac comes in for Ross. Simmons checked in for Fournier. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Grant.
Yeah, and Augustine continues to get it done from deep, Kevin. A consistent three-ball shooter who gets his shot up in a hurry.
Here's Butler. And the rebound goes to Martin. And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Magic. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
Yeah, interconference matchup. Two teams that'll see each other only twice on the schedule.
Yeah, and Greg, this is a big game for both teams. I mean, they don't see each other often, and you know they both want to get a win in this one.
Now here's Butler. 6 points for him. Rose can't hit.
Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
Simmons dishes to Martin. Augustine against Rose. Over Butler. The shot, no good. And Minnesota will come the other way. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
I tell you what, how efficient they were at scoring the basketball, especially for an away game, that was impressive.
Well, I think the key was the determination and grit and toughness they played with. You've got to be focused to do that, and they were.
The Timberwolves have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
The free throw drops for Rose. And the Wolves coach Tom Thibodeau and Jimmy Butler challenging Towns and Wiggins to step up their defensive intensity. Clark, do you worry about pushback from those young stars?
Not really. I mean, how they respond is going to be key to where this team goes. Towns and Wiggins are the top dogs, young players with great potential. The expectations starting to change as part of your development as a winning star player in the NBA, and I think both guys will rise to the challenge.
One shot.
A free throw drops for Augustine. The dribble drive has never gone out of style. Still a primary weapon when you think about some of the guys who are best at that. Who comes to mind, Clark?
Man, there are a lot of guys that convert off the bounce at a high level. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, one of the very best. I don't know if anybody has a handle as sweet as his. Harden. Harden is terrific off the dribble with the drive or the pull-up jump shot. Dennis Schroeder, maybe not of the ilk of those guys, but certainly a handful when he's got the ball in his hands with a live dribble.
Now here's Rose. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And, you know, one of the areas where the Orlando Magic struggled was with consistency, but not only on the floor, but across the franchise. A lot of coaching turnover the past decade.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Magic have gone through a lot of coaches, as you said.
Yeah, lack of continuity at that position can really derail any momentum you're attempting to build. And the same can be said about their players. A lot of trades and turnovers with the roster. That's not a recipe for consistent success.
Jones checked in for Minnesota.
You know, he's a steady hand at the free throw line, showing tremendous confidence in this one.
Orlando's gone 4 of 5 from three-point land to get things going here in the first. Augustine passes to Martin. Over in the corner, Isaac. Orlando moving the ball around. Here's Augustine. Over in the corner, Isaac. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession.
Looking now at the numbers for Aaron Gordon. He's been dominant over the last month, putting up about 18 points per, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And really just excellent numbers. I like what we've been seeing from him across the board.
I do too. I mean, he's playing with much more focus now and a much higher level of intensity.
Martin finds Gordon. Augustine with it. Over Rose. Augustine, no luck. Inside, here's Jones. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Jones has got his first points of the night.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Three-pointer connects from three-point range. Now it's a 6-point Timberwolves lead.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
The Magic again can hit.
Obviously, I mean, it would go a long way if he's making his shots. Right now, they're behind, and they certainly could use his help. Bad turnover, plain and simple. No other way to describe it. I mean, he just threw it out of bounds.
1:36 left in the first quarter. Jones against Augustine. An easy 2 points on the layup. Augustine's got his third basket of the night.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't back down from anybody, Greg. Effective at getting the room he wants and then gets his shot off in time.
Here's Rose. It's hauled in by the Magic.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Now here's Jones. He has 5. And Zhang kicks to Jones. And it's sent back by Isaac.
And the suffocating reach of Isaac is tough to overcome, and outshoot excels at getting up and denying shots.
There's 47 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. Down low, Okogie, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
The Magic trail by 3. And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That's his first foul. Here's Isaac. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here's the 3. Comes out of the gate empty. He's 0 for 1.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
And that one falls for Jones. He hits both from the stripe. Here's Augustine bringing it up now for the Orlando Magic, trailing by 5. Passes it to Gordon. With 4 seconds on the clock, shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Really a fantastic job by Gordon to bury himself down there, giving the defense really no other choice than to foul him.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Gordon.
And, you know, I like that Gordon is a versatile guy who can play both forward spots. He's a terrific athlete who continues to improve.
And both free throws good for Gordon. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we'll be back with you shortly. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns spoke about the aspirations of this team.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team. We have so much talent. We have great veterans. We have a great front office, a great coaching staff. So with all that on our side, we feel we have a great chance to find that way to success.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
And through that first period, for me, their work on the glass has been the difference.
Yep, pounding away on the boards. I mean, controlling the backboards. It's been a huge difference so far.
This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. Augustine and Simmons are the guard tandem. Martin is out there with Gordon, and it's Isaac in at the 3. Knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Jones. And we've got a moment now to check out the Eastern Conference standings and see where everyone is sitting as things begin to settle down just a bit through the midway point of the season. You look at the Bucks, earning the first place position with a terrific record, and we've seen them perform splendidly pretty much all season long so far, and they're definitely the team to beat. And, of course, there's the Magic. Quite a few spots down the ladder right now.
And I think for the Magic, seeing them where they are now, it's easy to forget just how awful they were a season ago. This is a team that's made major strides to lift themselves into the middle of the pack.
Boy, I tell you what, it's been a grit and grind effort for them. They know how to win, and that's not something you could say about them last year. A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Augustine looking around. Gordon for three. The Magic again can't hit.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Yeah, still close, but with their tough play on the boards, we're certainly seeing the effort.
Simmons pulls it in. The Magic trail by 5. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Orlando Magic has struggled to find difference-making players in the draft or in free agency. Their goal is to get younger but get better at the same time, and it's difficult to do even in the Eastern Conference, but Orlando is determined to get this right. Kevin?
And the journey continues for them and a lot of teams. D.A., thank you. And this Timberwolves team, so fun to watch.
I agree. All-star talent on the rise, athleticism, and they can light it up too. Yeah, fun group.
Now here is Augustine. He's got 11. Fades back. Count that one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut to just 5 points on the basket from Gordon.
You know what? Sometimes something good can come out of a bad possession.
Rose up on top. Defended by Gordon. Okogie, offensive rebound. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Jang's got the lead up to 7 now for the Timberwolves.
And, you know, we all know about Jang's high motor. Defensively, you can't just let him float around the glass. You've got to get a body on him.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Mark, when you played some tremendous talent at the forward position, as you go back in your Rolodex, who was the toughest matchup for you?
Well, I look at some of the names of guys that I played against. Mark Aguirre, Larry Bird, obviously Kevin McHale in Boston. Calvin Nat was terrific with Portland at the time. Marcus Johnson in Milwaukee. Bernard King in New York probably was the toughest guy I had to deal with because he was such an animal and beast as a scorer and was relentless in his movement without the ball. He was probably the hardest guy I had to check.
Boy, some great names there.
Yeah, big-time scores at that forward position.
Here's Teague, following the basket by Evan Fournier. Pass to Towns. Shoots over Mozgov, and Towns the bucket on the assist by Teague. 10 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Grant kicks to Mozgov. Now here's Isaac, defended by Butler, and stolen by Butler. And here we go. Teague heading to the hoop. Finished off the break.
Hey, with all that wide open space in transition, Kevin, you just cannot slow down Teague. He's got too many options, too much speed, too much handles. He's too elusive in the open court to corral him in that situation.
Here is Ross after the made shot from Jeff Teague. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Taj Gibson picks one up.
Great appreciation for Ross. Never afraid of going into the contact on the way up. Well done.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
Yeah, also, though, they've done a good job of pounding the offensive glass for second chance points.
That free throw good from Ross. Mark, one of the strong points that the Orlando Magic team has is their balance.
Well, they've got a number of players, Kevin, that can go for double digits on any night. That's always nice. Good depth on this roster as well. And when you don't have an elite star or talent, these are the kind of things you look for in building your team.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And here in Orlando, the Magic are the only pro team in town. You can tell that the fans want a winner badly.
Well, they show up consistently, even through the tough and lean times, and they've come close a few times in the history of this franchise, but have never quite gotten over that hump. They've had some stars and elite teams in the past, but the long-term success just hasn't been sustained.
And here is Mozgov after Jimmy Butler made that last three-pointer.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
And Tom Thibodeau is a demanding coach, Clark. We know that. His teams have responded, though, but sometimes teams can wear down from that style. Does that concern you in Minnesota?
Not really, Kevin. I mean, he's shown that he's got a proven track record for having teams be successful. And with ownership behind him, I think the players will follow his lead. Remember, he's got the dual role as coach and president of operations. Not sure if that is always the best way to go about it, but in this case, with the alignment with ownership, I think it'll work.
And the first one drops.
They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
And both free throws good for Ross. Timberwolves leading by 8. T kicks to Gibson. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Shot clock at 6. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Now the shooting guards you see listed there have been the ultra-reliable players for the past month. Take a look at their percentages from the field during that time. Second, Jimmy Butler.
You know, just ask this group. Sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. And it's a comforting feeling for a coach to know you've got one of those guys roaming on the perimeter.
And not only can they light it up from the perimeter, Greg, but they get their buckets getting to the rim as well. I mean, aggressive moves to the basket are always going to help your shooting percentage. You got to get some easy ones to shoot a high percentage.
And so it's Ross. He brings it up for the Orlando Magic. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. That'll be game 4 of this 6-game road trip. And stolen by Wiggins. And Wiggins throws it down hard.
Terrific pick by Wiggins. Then kicks it ahead, turning defense into offense.
And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Havoc, unleashing a little bit of chaos. Now, here's Grant. 20 points for him last game against the Bulls in Chicago.
And a lot of those points came at the free throw line, really because of his aggression. He was playing the game with force, always catching his man on his heels. Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
He gets that one. Grant's got 8 points.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Teague the pass to Towns. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 5 assists in the game.
Boy, he's dangerous right now. He feels like he's making every shot he puts up.
Now here's Mozgov. No points in the game yet for him. And Fournier kicks to Grant. To the paint, Isaac lays it up and banks it in.
Isaac really quick in the pick and roll. Once he sets the screen, he does a nice job rolling quickly and hard to the open space.
Pass to Towns, wide open. The rebound by Grant.
No other way to say it, flat out bad defense. Didn't even contest the shot. Lucky for them, he misfired on it.
Count that one, and the Timberwolves lead has been cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Ross.
Well, we know that T. Ross can get it going, part of the 50-plus club in terms of scoring the basketball.
Now here's Towns. A 26-point game for him in the win against the Celtics in Boston.
And equally impressive on the backboards. I thought his rebounding was huge.
Wiggins outside. Butler against Grant. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Free throw line jump shot, and the jumper is good. 13 points in the game.
You know, I think Butler had a pretty good mid-range game coming in. You know, he was drafted 30th back in 2011.
Fournier with the ball. Butler covering. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Sunday, they'll go up against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. And then on Tuesday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And looking at the schedule, it isn't ideal in terms of the upcoming games with the amount of quality teams they're going to be playing, but it's also a good chance for you to get some confidence and really see just how good you are.
Timberwolves leading by 10. Teague deciding where to go with it. And it's good, 2 points. Teague's got 6 points.
Yeah, you could see how Teague was probing the defender there, seeing if he could catch him leaning and drive to the rim. Nicely done.
And Jeff Teague grew up in Indianapolis, spent a season with the Pacers. Clark, you've spent some time around that team. What are your impressions of Teague?
I think he's really solid. Kind of a quiet leader, steady, reliable. He actually stayed in his parents' basement while he was with the Pacers. Pretty frugal, I would add, too. They say you can't go home again. I guess he proved that theory wrong.
Now here's Teague following the miss by Evan Fournier. Towns wide open. His three-pointer's off the mark. The Magic trail by 12. Now Ross. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Bulls in Chicago.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Here's Gibson. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And the Timberwolves lead by 14. Orlando's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Grant. He can't get that one to fall. Towns with the defensive effort. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Wiggins.
And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for Fournier. He's putting up about 20 points per game, 3 assists and 4 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Grant outside. Here's Isaac. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. 14 points, their largest lead in the game. Orlando's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Fournier against Butler, and Fournier kicks to Ross. From the line, and he hits the jump shot. Ross has got 8 points in the quarter.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
The Magic trail by 12. Fournier finds Grant. 1:37 left in the first half. Mozgov passes to Fournier, just 5 on the clock. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
You know, he's yet to hit another 3 after nailing one in the first, but I don't think that's going to stop him from shooting.
Let's now pause to take a look at the scoring breakdown between the front and back court of tonight's contests for the Timberwolves.
And we can see pretty even there between the guards and the bigs. That kind of balanced production has what's helped them craft this huge lead.
It's stolen by Teague. Now here comes Teague leading the break. Here's Wiggins. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 6 assists here tonight. And here is Grant. He's got 8. Outside Fournier. Ross against Teague. 6 on the shot clock. Fournier for 3. Minnesota with the rebound. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Off target from three-point range. Teague against Grant. We've got 22 seconds left in the first half of the game. Now, here's Isaac, defended by Gibson. Isaac kicks to Ross. Once again off the mark, Orlando. Outside Teague, fires the 3, and the last shot before the buzzer is off.
Boy, Fournier doing a nice job expending energy on the defensive side of the floor and being very pesky to whoever he's guarding.
And so it's Minnesota sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford. What was the biggest problem for your guys in the first half?
Well, you know what? We're a defensive team first, and we've been good defensively. We've been organized. We weren't that in that first half, and that's what we got to concentrate to get the game going back our way.
See if you revert back to your form in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And, Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, they were dishing out dimes left and right, and the guys were finishing strong. As a team, they seem to be always thinking, always looking for the best shot. If they keep sharing the ball this way, the second half could be more lopsided than the first.
Check. What'd you think about Orlando?
Well, they struggle in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
We come back to Minnesota now with a striking look at the 10th Avenue Bridge, downtown Minneapolis, off in the distance. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Terrence Ross with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. And it's Teague in at the point guard position. So that's who Tom Thibodeau starts the second half with. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Teague's got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Timberwolves. Grant kicks to Gordon. Ross on the wing, covered by Wiggins. Fournier against Gibson. Fournier dishes to Mozgov. The shot. Ross, that's good. Ross has got 16. Timberwolves leading by 14. Now the pass to Gibson. And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Timberwolves shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the technical free throw, missing that time. They'll retain possession here, however.
And Jimmy Butler, he was the guy who helped propel the Timberwolves to their first playoff berth in years. Excellent leadership from him. For a team so rich in young talent, he immediately accelerated their timeline.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
Fournier for 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 9 rebounds now tonight. And Coach Thibodeau, of course, Butler's former coach in Chicago. Tom Thibodeau says Butler, Clark, completely changed the Timberwolves last season for the better.
And, you know, Butler, for his part, has embraced a mentorship role, what you like to see from veteran players of his caliber. He's kind of a go-between for Thibs and the other players, so I think he's appreciated here in a way I don't think he felt he was in Chicago.
And here is Teague following Evan Fournier's 3. Teague finds Wiggins. Here's Butler. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Butler's got 5 points now in the quarter. And so Grant will bring it up for the Orlando Magic. Pass to Ross. Lets it go from deep. And again, it's Orlando with a 3.
And that's where Ross has been most efficient. Raining it off the catch. Love it.
Fournier against Teague. Now here's Butler. Defense right on him. Shots good by Gibson.
Good job putting the pass in front of him. Throw it where he's supposed to be, not where he is. Paving the way right to the bucket.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
And Jimmy Butler, you know, something of a quirky character. Has a ritual whenever he's at a grocery store of paying the person's bill behind it. Doesn't care if it's 99 cents or 2,000.
Rose, he's checked in for T. Orlando also making some changes. Martin's checked in for Mozgov. Simmons comes in for Ross. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Jaren Grant. And the basket by Gordon. And Butler never afraid to be a little bit different, listening to country music in the locker room, much to his teammates' chagrin.
And in the offseason, riding around in a van with a baby on board sticker, even though he's single with no kids. Remove the rearview mirror as a symbolic reminder to never look back. This guy's special.
And here's Fournier. After Jimmy Butler made that last three-pointer, Fournier into the lane. Back to Martin. Clock at 6. Augustine passes to Martin for 3. Fournier. The shot off that time.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Now Gordon, after Jimmy Butler missed from long range. Gordon against Gibson. Shoots from 12 and misses it off the right side of the rim. Timberwolves leading by 16. Timberwolves passing it around. And the basket is good. Wiggins has got 11.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Here's Fournier following the basket by Andrew Wiggins and finished off by Martin.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean
talk
that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Now here's Simmons following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Augustine against Rose. And Augustine kicks to Martin. Simmons inside. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Wiggins outside. Now the dish to Gibson. Butler on the wing. He's guarded by Fournier. Fades away. On his 15th shot attempt, he makes his 9th basket, shooting a healthy 60% tonight.
And, you know, Butler knows his team depends on him, relies on him to fill it up and put it in the basket, and he's an outstanding scorer with a really versatile arsenal.
2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. All going up court. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 3 assists now in this one. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Minnesota.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
You got to be more careful around Butler. I mean, he's terrific at bouncing over the opposition and taking the ball away.
Now here is Augustine. He's got 11. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That is his first foul of the game. Minnesota making a switch here. Zhang's checked in. And here's Gordon from outside. Andrew Wiggins grabs the board. Wiggins has got his 5th rebound in this one. Rose got a hand on it. Butler against Fournier. 3-pointer Augustine. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
And that quick trigger of Augustine, not giving the defense any chance to block the shot off the pass.
Rose with the ball. 7 points in the game. And Towns gets it to go.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
The Magic trail by 21. It's Fournier on the wing. Shot from 12. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Pass to Zhang. Left side Butler. And it's Butler with the jam.
A really gifted athlete. You can tell Butler loves getting up to throw these dunks down.
And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Magic. He kicks it to Fournier. Gordon against Zhang. The shot's good from Fournier. Fournier's got 12.
Even when the defense is right up in Fournier, he's still tricky down inside. Constantly figures out ways to keep the defense guessing.
Now here's Zhang. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Simmons feeling it out a bit. Pass to Augustine. Outside Gordon. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
And here's Rose after Aaron Gordon was able to get the triple. Butler from outside. Nailed from three-point land. Butler's got 30 points.
And you can just see his confidence is rising. Bucket after bucket from long range.
Martin dishes to Fournier. Poke loose. Towns with the steal. For the finish. And it's Butler with the jam.
A steal, then right into the fast break. Towns with excellent awareness for his age. Very mature player, despite being a young buck.
Now here is Augustine. 14 points for him. Outside, Martin. He dishes it to Fournier. Left side, Gordon. And he drops in the layup off the glass. He's got 13.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. And although Gordon had never won a dunk contest, there's no doubt that he is one of the league's most lethal artists in the air.
Yeah, he really is. Creative, great bounce and strength. Was recorded at the combine with a 39-inch vertical. I think he gets off the floor much higher than that at times. He's got great power and a good frame. You know, if you see Gordon coming down the lane with a step, you better run for cover if you don't want to be posterized.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Mozgov, he's checked in for Martin. Terrence Ross comes in for Evan Fournier. And it's Grant in for Augustine.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Now, here's Grant. 8 points for him. And the basket by Gordon.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Minnesota leading by 21. Teague kicks to Tolliver. Back to Teague. Kicks it out to Jones. From deep. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Three-point shooting since the half has been about as good as you could ask for.
And now's the time for them to step on the gas pedal. Don't let up. Keep letting it fly from deep and build that lead. Play through the finish line, not to it. Keep the pressure on.
Minnesota's gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. And a look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far for Butler.
And it's really been a tremendous night. He's been efficient. He's been a major driving force in this offense. And it's no small task to try to slow him down. Once he gets rolling, like we've seen in this game so far, watch out.
And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That's foul number 2 for him. Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for Orlando. .59 seconds left in the third quarter of the game.
And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
It has been a lopsided battle on the boards, no doubt.
Now here's Teague, kicks to Jones. And there's the pass to Jang, just 4 to shoot. Here's Teague. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
And the defense that time was late, and you got to feel fortunate he didn't put that one away.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
Passes it to Jang. Outside Teague. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Jones against Grant. Left side, Gordon. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Tell you what, that remarkable foot speed of Gordon's really causes problems for the defense. He's a hard guy to keep in front of you.
No good on the free throw. He hits the second from the line. One second left. No good. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we'll be right back after this. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Right back, man. Let's go score, stop, score here. Everyone talk defensively. Get stops and then let's go. Let's go. Make the game easy for each other. Make plays. Get your spacing.
And defense obviously so important to Coach Thibodeau.
I mean, he wants his team to get stops and leak out fast. Fundamental basketball.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Magic. We've got Aaron Gordon. Grant is out there with Terrence Ross. Then it's Mozgov, and it's Isaac in at the 3, the small forward.
No doubt for me, the offense looks better in the second half. They've been able to dial down those turnovers, and that's been a huge help.
Here's Grant. Mozgov passes to Isaac. Knocked loose. Now here comes Teague, leading the break. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. They'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers. And then on Monday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Sacramento to take on the Kings.
And looking at that Jazz matchup, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
First one falls for him. You know, Clark, when you think about it, all fans really care about is winning, and that's hard to pull off when you're the only star on your team. And we see it all over the league.
You know, basketball is not tennis or golf. It's a team game, and one man can't win a championship by himself. I mean, when you look at all the championship teams, they were championship teams, not driven by just one star player. And it's a blessing when you can play with other good players, and that's what all good players desire to do at some point in their career.
Now, here's Grant. Pass to Isaac. Gordon kicks to Isaac. Back to Gordon. Just 5 to shoot. Over Jones. And it's Gordon missing. Timberwolves leading by 23. Outside Teague. Pass to Jang. Back to Teague. He kicks to Jang. Shoots over Mozgov. And that one hits back iron. And for the Magic, they're shooting in this game 45%. Now here's Ross. T right on him. Grant finds Ross. Now here's Mozgov. Beyond the arc. He can't get that one to fall. And the pass to Jang. The Timberwolves working the ball around now.
If you let him get that deep, this is what you can expect.
Yeah, he's not only strong as ammonia down there, he's smart as Einstein, too. Poor effort from the defense.
Grant kicks to Ross. Now here's Isaac. Teague covering. Mozgov passes to Isaac. Grant against Jones. No good from Grant. Minnesota with the ball. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. To the left wing. A floater. Here's Jang. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
If you're guarding Jang, you know he doesn't mind being challenged. I mean, he's able to convert through physical play. As a matter of fact, the rougher it is, I think the more he likes it.
And the foul called on Tyus Jones. And that'll be his third foul so far. Mark, you've always been a student of the game. You've seen a number of guys do a great job of changing styles as they've gotten older in the game.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch. I think about Magic Johnson. I think about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Right.
You watch these guys, and there are a number of other guys, too. I mean, those come to mind pretty prominently. But again, it's about a concession to who you are for real, not who you used to be. And I love seeing guys play more on the ground when they were high flyers earlier, or add a jump shot, when they were drivers. Those are neat evolutions to see.
Passes it to a Wondu. Pass to Frazier. They could use a bucket. Another miss by Orlando. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Jones kicks to Dang. And no good. And it's the Magic taking it the other way. Pass to Frazier. Tries a 3. Tipped away. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. And Orlando making a change here. Martin's checked in. On defense, Minnesota. Here's a Wondu. Just 5 on the clock. And Luol Deng gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Would you still consider drafting him?
Yeah, I would consider it. And again, there would be some extenuating circumstances. Why has he declined? What have we seen? Obviously, I'm hopeful that my scouting staff has taken a look at him, and I've seen the kid up close and in person and done my due diligence, so I've got a comfort level with who he is and what he can become. But I don't think the declining of a workout is enough reason to just dismiss a prospect that you like.
And so it's Minnesota with it, following the bucket by Orlando. To the middle, Gibson. Banked in off the glass.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they had.
Offensive rebound, and finished off by Martin.
Nice job clearing some space out under the boards and setting himself up there for the putback.
And not just any old putback, Clark, but a big, big foul.
You know, Kevin, you can't be pretty, though, with those second chance opportunities. I mean, just put it in the basket.
Okogie, covered by Martin. Okogie buries it from three-point range.
Against length, he does a nice job of creating just enough separation.
Yeah, he's so creative with the ball and his ability to shake free from bigger guys to knock down those triples. Boy, that's a thing of beauty there.
Orlando with the ball, following the 3 by Minnesota. Here's Frazier. Dishes it to Martin. Makes it off the glass.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here is Tolliver after the Magic pick up 2. Back to Dang. You know, there's always this debate, Clark. Could the best teams 20 years ago beat the best teams of today?
I think there would be some compelling matchups, and I think you would find winners on both sides from different eras. I really do. It's hard to compare just because of the difference in eras and periods, but really good championship teams typically could handle most teams in the current era. I believe that in all sports. So compelling matchups, and I do think some teams from a couple of decades ago could handle some of the teams that we see winning championships now.
And Orlando has possession, following the 3 by Minnesota. The kick out to Frazier. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 14-6 run. The pass to Gibson. Back to Rose. You know, every coach talks about playing team basketball, Clark. When it comes to the fans, they really come out to see the stars. What do you think is the psychology behind that?
Well, I think fans enjoy elite players and great talent across any sport, but they also recognize that team play is critical to winning. So I think it's a combination. Fans, I think we've got to give them a little more credit. Sure, they want to see the stars play, but they want to win, and they know to win, teams have to be about team basketball, not just highlighting and enjoying the stars.
3 from the inbound, and again, Minnesota with the triple.
And that's a shot Rose must make consistently. When he's making it rain from there, this team is hard to match up with.
It's stolen by Dang. Outside Rose. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
And Derrick Rose certainly equipped athletically to punish teams in the paint.
Frazier with it, working on Tolliver. Kicks it to Martin to stop the run. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Tolliver's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack. And I tell you what, he's doing his best to contribute, but he's been out of sync, out of rhythm. Luckily, his team still is in front.
There's the 3. The rebound by Gibson. And here's Gibson. He'll bring it up for the Timberwolves. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Clark, we know of your involvement with college basketball, calling the Final Four. College teams occasionally change conferences here in the NBA. There's talk of eliminating conferences altogether.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a bit of a traditionalist here. I'm open to change, but I think there would need to be more rationale behind the change than what I've heard or read. So I think keeping it the way it is fine. So that tradition aspect of it is what I'm hanging my hat on. Anytime you try to manipulate matchups, though, to me, is walking down the wrong road. So, in my opinion, we should stay with the conferences for now.
I like that thought. Now, Frazier, after the missed 3 from Luol Deng. Birch kicks to Frazier. Shot clock at 6. They need this one. And it's Martin missing.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those days. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes it's just not working for you.
Now here's Gibson. And it's Dang in the corner. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Martin's got his 5th rebound in this one. Frazier left side. To the inside. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. And Gibson sends it back. Now here's Rose. And it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Rose. Rose has got 6 assists here tonight. He's covered by Rose.
2 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Frazier outside. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Clark, it always seems the coaches get fired a lot, and there's kind of the rotating names there. But the GMs who hire them stay in place. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fairly complex, Kevin. I don't know if we have enough time to delve in it effectively here, but my initial feeling is every circumstance is a little different, and sometimes it's a little easier to move the coach than the general manager for whatever reason. But there should be more accountability for GMs, not just for who they draft, but also who they hire as coaches. So I'm mixed, but I kind of understand why sometimes the coach is a little more readily expendable.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Jones has checked in. That one is no good.
He needed to convert on all of those. Missed opportunities at the line are the last thing they need right now.
Outside Rose. Here is Tolliver, covered by Martin. Augustine against Jones. Good on the three-point shot.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Timberwolves.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game one has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Butler.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Orlando. Terrence Ross comes in for Frazier. Rose hits them both. Average value of an NBA team, Clark, over $1 billion. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, but the league wasn't always so healthy and always thriving the way it is now.
Yeah, every business goes through periods of prosperity and challenge. The league, NBA, no different. Early 80s, there were real struggles and challenges. Then there was a real bump as we got into the late 80s and into the 90s, plateaued a bit, and now we're on a great ascension. But the players and the league have really worked well together to bring the league to a greater level of popularity and success in this time period now. And you can't discount the big money from TV contracts. That fuels the fire quite a bit as well.
That free throw good from Ross. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. And it's Jones with the ball for the Timberwolves. 36 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Gibson. And he overshot that one, missing. And there's the feed to Simmons.
You know, after once paying to try out for a minor league team, Simmons has come a long way. And he's not done yet.
Shooting for Orlando, Jonathan Simmons. At the line for 2.
That's good from Simmons. So he gets them both. Minnesota with the ball. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock, and they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Rose, no good.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
So it's Minnesota winning this one easy. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, how confident are you that you guys can build on this win and keep the momentum going?
Very confident. Like I said, we got a great group of guys. If we play together, play hard, we can win.
I know you'll like to keep that going as we go on in the season. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.